The next guy is beyond a friend of the program. He is fantastic as Jacob Warren joins us now. And hey, Jacob, it doesn't sound right to say former Vol Jacob Warren. So can I just go with VFL Jacob Warren?
VFL, that's what we go by now. VFL. Man, what's up? Y'all doing all right?
We're doing fantastic, man. Appreciate you being a part of the program. Thank you very much. All right, Jacob, you're on in the NFL, and you're kind of waiting for a call. But I wonder, when you're watching the Vols, as I'm sure you were last week, and they were so tight end centric, if you're thinking, man, that's the game to play in as a college tight end under Josh Heupel.
You're not lying. There's definitely, things that you watch, and I'm obviously paying attention to the games, and I'm watching the tight ends. I'm watching my friends and stuff like that, guys I know, and for sure, yeah, you're excited to see them do well and excited to see them score and get a lot of touches and stuff like that. But for sure makes you a little jealous. You're thinking, oh man, I wish I could be out there, out there doing that, So, but no, it's been great. It's been great. I guess did it cut off? When did the last question cut off? Did I get any of that answer in before, or no? Do we need to go back to that?
Yeah, let's go back for a second and talk about how you could get a call at any moment being on an NFL team.
Yeah, that's kind of just where I'm at right now. It's like spent 2 months or so with the Patriots and did well in training camp and felt like I performed well. Felt like I was a good coworker. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I carried myself really well around the building and did all those things that I knew I'd be good at, whatever. And I think found that I can't play in that league and I can't compete with those guys. And so yeah, now just hopeful to get a call or to get a chance for a workout or a tryout or practice squad or just whatever it may be, man. Just get my foot back in the door and find something, find a home that I can be comfortable and be successful at.
Well, we're absolutely rooting for you. I want to talk, if you don't mind, a little bit about Josh Heupel's offense.
Yeah.
Because in 2022, it seemed pretty simple, right? 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end for the most part. But now it looks so multiple to me. They do the double tights. I still think they may have done it some, but I still think there's potential for 4 wide receivers. How much deeper is this playbook than maybe we thought it was a couple of years ago, now that you have some experienced players?
Yeah, I think 100% it has to do with the experienced players. It has to do with, getting guys in the system and knowing, who your personnel is. But I mean, you really think about it, like these guys, a lot of the guys that are making a lot of plays and stuff for the team right now have not been, obviously Nico's pretty new, right? He played a game last year, but starting wise and just, experience wise, he's pretty fresh. And then, you got some young guys on the defense making a lot of plays. You got a lot of new guys, maybe not young guys, but new guys on the offense that are doing really well. And I think it's just, a testament to the coaches and what they're able to, communicate to the players. I think watching it and also having, I still know a lot of the people on the team. So before the game or, leading up, we're talking about game plan. We're talking about, kind of what NC State looks like on defense. And, they played a defense that I saw, plenty of times in college, and they're trying to, manipulate safeties and, put an extra fast guy in the box so he can fit box on run. He can get out and cover and pass. And, we had, I'm not going to say who it was, but we had a lot of success against teams that did that in my career. Right. And, yeah, this was no different. I think it was really cool that they got in 12 personnel pretty much the whole game and just ran the ball right down the throat. And whenever they wanted to, kind of come into the box and took the chance to take shots down the field. And, that is what this offense is. The offense is, take what you give us, but, we're going to make plays on our own, and we're going to create plays with, just really strategic play calling and just understanding the defense better than they understand our offense and what's coming. So I think, Halsley, Hype, everybody, Nico, tight ends, offensive line. Obviously, I saw Cooper got SEC Lineman of the Week. Nico got Freshman of the Week. So you got guys that are really performing and really going out there and playing really hard, but you also have a really good scheme to back them up and to, put them in the right positions to go make those plays that look so easy. You know what I mean? Like, why is this guy wide open? And it's purely just because the coaches have done such a good job of setting it up.
Jacob, I want Caleb to go ahead and jump in there. I'll remind people to hit like and subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. As Jacob Warren, nice enough to join us, BFL, and give us a little bit of a breakdown of what Tennessee's doing. All right, Caleb?
Yeah, so Jacob, I wanted to talk a little bit about, it's 2 of 3 games now where Nico's faced that 3-3-5 defense where they are committed to taking away those deep shots that we know the quarterbacks love in Josh Heupel's offense. And
Right.
what do you think it said about him that he wants to take those shots? I mean, it's you're a new quarterback in this system. You want to take those, but what does it say about him that they haven't been there and he really hasn't tried to force it, has he? He's really taken what they've given him through 3 games. I mean, how difficult does it get if you're in a Heupel's offense though and you just want to hit on that big play because that's what the offense is about?
For sure. I think that's the biggest thing is that you know the potential. You know exactly how this offense can run, and you've seen it. Like, he's seen it firsthand when he was getting recruited with Hendon, right? Saw it firsthand with Joe. Obviously, Joe could throw the ball further than anybody, so he loved doing that. So you see it firsthand. You see these guys making plays down the field, and you have, crazy talent that, like, you still have Squirrel. You got Dante, you got Chris, you got all these guys, Caleb Webb, like, obviously Brew. You got guys that can stretch the field vertically. But again, like, I think he's shown really good. I don't even know how to describe it. Like, he's shown really good poise. He's shown really good decision making. He's, very efficient with the ball, which is what the quarterback in this offense has to do. Obviously, Hendon Hooker had the most success in his career whenever he was efficient with the ball and when he was taking care of the ball. Obviously, there was a couple mishaps the other day, a couple turnovers and stuff that, could have been on him, could have not been on him, whatever. But I think Nico's also the guy to just accept that and just take that on the chin and just be like, look, that's my fault. Well, regardless of what happened, the ball's in my hands every play. And to be that young and to be taking that type of responsibility just with his body language and just the way he handles things like that, I truly think, like, he's a special player, dude.
I know that you're not supposed to overlook an opponent. Okay. And as a player, I would never ask you this, but now I'm going to, because Kent State is absolutely horrendous. Okay. Yeah. I mean, they're bad. I mean, they got beat by a team called,
I can say it now too. Yeah, they're bad. Chattanooga was a good team.
Yeah. But with Kent State, they got beat by a team called St. Francis that I've never heard of. So Kent State's not good. So it's an opportunity for Josh Heupel to put more on tape for Oklahoma. So I felt like the first game showing that he could attack the middle of the field. The last game he could use 2 tights and just run the football. If you're Oklahoma, what in the H are you preparing for?
I think obviously I don't know any of the secrets, but so I'm not even gonna say anything that would potentially give away secrets. But no, I think Hype and I think the staff 100% kind of knows what they're prepping for. They know what they're planning for. And like you said, you never look over an opponent, because obviously I was involved in the Georgia State game, years ago, whenever we lost to a team that we probably shouldn't have. And you know what I'm saying? And it was maybe just because we weren't as focused as you should have been. But yeah, I think you go through this week of practice and you prepare the same way. You watch all your film, you don't skip your film, you don't skip your reps in practice. Like, the guys need to be focused. But I think, there is an element of, okay, how can we handle business here as quickly as possible? So that was always our biggest thing, man, is you hated to be an older guy. You hated to be a starter having to play 40 reps in a game like this. It's a long, too long, right? The game start in there for, the half, whatever, and then you get them out, man, and you let them recover and get ready for Oklahoma. And, obviously, scheme-wise, you never really know what's coming down the pipe, but you can do what you can to make sure your players are ready, at least.
I wouldn't want to be Brent Venables. Caleb?
Yeah, Jacob. I want to talk a little bit about, are there any new quirks you've seen in the Heupel offense this year compared to what you guys played in? Does it seem like, or is it the defensive scheme? Because he has worked. Now, I remember with you guys, he worked you in, and then he worked Prince and Fannin, y'all alternate, and then you and McAllen Castles would alternate. He's worked 3 tight ends into the set this year so far with Holden Stays, Miles Kitselman, and obviously Ethan Davis. Do you think that has something to do with just the fact that they are playing 3-3-5 defenses? So there's more room for tight ends to work?
I mean, yeah, I think they also just have a good batch of tight ends. You know what I mean? I think they have good players, and I know we were good players too, right? But there's a level of, you know what I'm saying, having just with the way the offense goes and just with the reps and with the tempo and everything, you don't want to burn anybody out, right? So I think if you put both, for a big situation for us is like if we're both on the field, if say we're going 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and we're both on the field for a drive, that next drive is going to be pretty tough on that guy has to go in, right? So now they got 3 guys that are all, you know, really, you know, good players and have, you know, a lot of experience and stuff. So, you know, yeah, they're able to have a little bit more freedom and run that 12 personnel, run the 13 whenever, you know, it comes time for it, but also able to just roll all 3 of those guys. And I think that's a luxury for sure that they have that. It's cool. And it's obviously, I'm more than happy about it, right? I love to see those guys being successful. Those guys, I think, you know what I mean, from what I can tell, learned a lot from me. And, you know, I think I had my impact on them, not only just, you know, just Ethan, but I think, you know, the short time that Kits and that Holden have been there, you know, I've hung out with them outside of football and been able to just talk ball, talk different things. And I'm not saying the only reason they're successful is because of me. Don't take that. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like I've had my hand in kind of preparing them for kind of what they're going to see here and there. And they're doing a great job, man. Miles is blocking his butt off and just working super hard. Obviously, Holden's made some plays and everything. And I'm just happy to see Ethan come along. Obviously scored in the Chattanooga game and did his little dance or whatever. But, man, that's just it's exciting to see. I'm happy for him.
What's Ethan Davis's upside?
Ethan Davis has the most potential of, you know, of a lot of people that I've seen, just with his, you know, obviously the way he manipulates his body and he runs routes. Like, it's not, again, I hate comparisons. I don't like comparisons, but if you really study, this is going to sound crazy. If you really study Travis Kelce and study the way that he runs routes and the way that he uses his feet, but also his like shoulders and head and his body, like Ethan does a lot of similar things. And I think it's really cool because like they're very different body types and very different builds and skill sets and stuff. But I think he honestly runs his routes a lot like that, and his a great feel for space and just understands what the quarterback I think is thinking too. So I think his skill level and his skill set is off the charts, and it's just a matter of him, you know, getting to the point where he can just go out there and just let it loose. You know, I mean, I think that's a part in every, especially tight end, every young tight end's career. You think so much and you trying to overanalyze things because you don't want to be wrong, because you're supposed to be the guy that's always right and the guy's in the right spot all the time. And I think once he lets go of all that, and he for sure is, like, I've seen a lot of growth and just development from just watching him. But once that kind of comes along and he truly gets super confident about being in the box and just going and striking people every single play and just dealing with, you know what I mean, dealing with the headache, dealing with the, you know, the kind of stinger going down your arm. You're like, I don't know if that feels right. Like, you got to get back in there, man. You got to just go be tough and just go and just grit it out. And so I think once he figures all those things out, man, the ceiling is limitless for him.
I felt like too that he got a major vote of confidence from the coaching staff. I mean, you bring 2 transfers in who are older, but who's the first guy out there against Chattanooga catching a touchdown pass? I kind of felt like that was a tip of the cap to a great offseason. Would you agree?
For sure. I agree. And I think that that's great that you see stuff like that. And a lot of people will see stuff like that. And everybody, you know, is probably like, well, why is this? Why is that? He's been here longer, blah, blah, whatever. End of the day is they're going to put the people out there that they trust, that are playing well, and, you know what I mean, that are performing well. And at this point, they're all doing that, right? So as long as they're all still getting in there and rotating and playing, then I think we've built a culture at Tennessee of not being selfish, not pointing a thumb saying, oh, it should be me, but just allowing things to just happen the way they do. And when you win games by 50 points, I don't think it should really, you know what I mean? You shouldn't be able to sit there and be upset. Obviously, you want your personal goals and everything, but, you know, there was many games I didn't catch a ball, and we put up 55 on a, you know, SEC team, and you're like, all right, I could live with not catching a ball because we're doing something great here. So as long as everybody just keeps having that mentality, I think everything will just work out just fine.
Jacob, we love you at Off the Hook Sports. Have a blessed day, and let's go to lunch sometime and get together. Well, I hope we can't go to lunch because I hope you get that call from the NFL. But if
Right.
you're around, lunch on me, deal?
No doubt. I appreciate you.
Be blessed.
Yeah,
we love
take
you.
care.
Thanks,
See ya.
man. Jacob Warren, nice enough to join us. Give us a breakdown.